kindergarten, and welcome to another math lesson. We have been working so hard on counting and finding hidden partners with the numbers of 5, and we're going to continue that work today. So let's find out what our math thinking job is. Today, when you leave math, your teacher and I want you to be able to order and write numbers 0 to 3. As well as to answer how many questions. So thumbs up and repeat after me. I can order and write numbers 0 to 3 to answer how many questions. So we're going to be ordering the numbers 0 to 3, practice writing them, and answering the question of how many. Are you ready to get started? Here we go. I want you to look around this classroom and I want you to finish the riddle, okay? So take a look around the classroom and think about how can you answer this riddle. We have exactly one blank in this classroom. We have exactly one blank in this classroom. Your teacher might pause the video and ask you how you can answer this riddle. Did you say we have exactly one clock in this classroom? Or you might have said we have exactly one plant in this classroom? Or maybe you said we have exactly one eraser in this classroom? Or we have exactly one table in this classroom? Great job. Now I want you to think about this riddle. This has to do with you. Nothing on my screen to do with you. We have exactly 2 blanks on our body. We have exactly 2 blanks on our body. Take a minute and think, what do I have 2 of? Your teacher is going to pause the video and ask you how you can answer this riddle. You might have said we have exactly 2 eyes on our bodies. You might have said we have exactly 2 hands on our body. You might have said we have exactly 2 ears on our body. You might have also said we have exactly 2 feet on our body. You're right. There's 2 of those body parts. All right, last riddle. How about this one? We have exactly 3 blank on the table. We have exactly 3 blank on the table. Your teacher's going to pause the video and ask you what we have exactly 3 of. Did you say we have exactly 3 crayons? You're right. We only have 3 crayons. Now that we have done some counting, let's practice writing those numbers. We've practiced counting 1, counting 2, and counting 3 objects. Let's practice writing those numbers. I know a little riddle that will help us remember how to write the number 1. Echo me, please. Top to bottom, then you're done. You just wrote the number 1. In a moment, your teacher's going to pause the video and you're going to practice the number 1. But for now, repeat my riddle if you remember it. Top to bottom, then you're done. You just wrote the number 1. Top to bottom, then you're done. You just wrote the number 1. Your teacher's going to pause the video and you are going to practice the number 1. You can say the riddle to help you remember how to write it. Practice the number 1, top to bottom, then you're done. You just wrote the number 1. Now we're going to practice writing the number 2, and in a moment you'll get to practice. But first, let me teach you a riddle that will help you remember how to write the number 2. It goes like this. Half a moon, there's more to do. Slide down to the right. Now that's a 2. Half a moon, there's more to do. Slide to the right, and that's a 2. Now it's your turn. Your teacher's going to pause the video, and you're going to practice the number 2. We've practiced the number 1, we've practiced the number 2, and now we're going to practice the number 3. Let me share the riddle for the number 3. Backwards C, and that is how you make a 3. Backwards C, and that's how you make a number 3. Now it's your turn. Your teacher's going to pause the video and you're going to practice the number 3. Wow, we've practiced the number 1, we've practiced the number 2, we've practiced the number 3. We also did some quick counting in the beginning of the lesson, and now we're going to dive in and practice some more counting. On the screen, you see a puppy, some turtles, and some fish. Now, we need to do some counting and find out how many we have of each animal. Your teacher in a moment is going to pause the video and you are going to count how many puppies we have, how many turtles we have, and how many fish we have. All right. Looking at the fish, I count 1, 2. That means I'm going to write the number 2. Half a moon, there's more to do. Slide to the right, and that's a 2. Let's look at the turtles. Count with me. 1, 2, 3. There are 3, so I'm going to write the number 3. Backwards C, that's how you write a number 3. Let's go over to the puppy. I have 1 puppy. Top to bottom, then you're done. That's the number 1. And last, kitty. I want you to look out and tell me, how many kitties do we have? How many kitties do we have? Do we have any kitties? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs down. Last Friday, we learned about this number. Who remembers what this number is? Your teacher might look out and pause the video for someone to answer this question. What is the number that shows how many kitties? Did you say 0? There's none. Remember, the math word for none is 0. So we have 0. Great thinking. There are 0 kitties. I don't see any kitties on my screen. That means there's 0. Before we start counting in order and finding missing numbers, let's quickly review of where we start to count going up to 5 and how we can count backwards. Are you ready? We're going to start with 0. We learned about the number 0 last week. So we start counting with 0, then we go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how we count upward. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I want to count backwards. When I count backwards, I'm going to start with 5 and go backwards. I can find the number that comes next by remembering what number comes before. So if I look at my numbers counting upward, I can see that the number 4 comes before the number 5. When I count backwards, I'm going to put 4 next because I'm going to count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're counting upwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And counting backwards, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, let's do some missing parts. All right, now we're going to order the numbers. We need to put the numbers in order and we're missing a number. In a moment, your teacher's going to pause the video and ask you what the missing number is. You're first going to count and then you're going to find the missing number. Ready? Go. First you counted 1, 2. Did you say 3? You're right. There's 3. Next one. Teacher's going to pause the video. Find the missing number. 1, 2, 3. Next one. Go ahead and try this one. This one is different. We've been counting up 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to count down. We're going to count backwards. So we're going to start from 3, and we need to find the number that comes before 3. We're counting backwards. Your teacher's going to pause the video. All right. 3, 2, 1. Remember, we're counting backwards. So 3, 2, 1. We put 2 because 2 comes before 3. We're going backwards. I know we're going backwards because the missing number, before the missing number, we have 1. All right, let's try this one. Your teacher's going to pause the video, and I want you to practice counting backwards. 3, 2, 1. All right, have a few more to practice. Try this one. Now the missing number is the first number we have to find. So we need to skip this number and go to the next one. 2, 1. 2, 1. That means it must be 3 because 3 comes after 2. 3, 2, 1. Your teacher's going to pause the video and you're going to find the missing number. 3, 2, 1. Our missing number is 2. Let's try this one. Teacher's going to pause the video. I see the number 0. What number comes after 0? 1. We're counting upwards. 0, 1, 2. Try this one. 2, 1, 0. Remember, the number that comes before 1 is 0. We're counting backwards. 2, 1, 0. Try this one. Your teacher's going to pause the video. Before we answer this one, let's just review. Let's count. Go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When we go backwards, we go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That means I do not know this first number, so I'm going to go to the next number, 1, 2. We're counting upwards, so that means I know the number 0 comes before 1, so the answer must be 0. Last one. Teacher's going to pause the video. Counting backwards. 2, 1, 0. Great job. Oh, there's one more. Your teacher's going to pause the video, find the missing number. 0, 1, 2. Great job. All right. For Seesaw today, you have 3 pages. On the first page, you're going to practice writing the number 1 and the number 2. On page 2, you're going to practice writing the number 3. And then on page 3, you're going to be doing some counting and putting the numbers in order by finding the missing numbers. Don't forget to click the pencil, as that is the writing tool you will use, and click the green check when you're all done. All right, Kidsters, happy counting.